Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more BSL action. We are almost done this tournament. This is the third place match, and it's game number 2 between Gypsy and Sziky. If you've missed any of the round of 8 and up, do check it out. It's been fantastic so far, and we already had a really nice game 1 between these two. It felt like Gypsy's macro was really doing well, but was having a little bit of a hard time trying to get damage done on Sziky, who started just getting everywhere on the map once he had those 4 bases. Really well done with his counterattacks. Now, our next map going to be Aztec, a 3-player map. Always enjoy 3-player maps for Terran vs. Zerg. Let's see how they open it up. Pretty even map, it looks like, statistically so far. All right, I'm ready. Let's get into game number 2. All right, in the bottom left position, our Terran player from Canada, it's Gypsy. And in the bottom right, our Zerg player from Hungary, it's Sziky. All right, so yeah, it felt like Gypsy had a good opening that last game. I think the real deciding moment, it wasn't when Gypsy didn't break the third, although I think maybe if he had made like a beeline for it, he may have been able to. I think the real deciding moment was that little rundown with the Defiler, Lurker, Ling towards the natural. That bought a lot of time where Gypsy was unable to pressure on the map. He had to spend extra units, and he couldn't keep Sziky off of his back, and that was a big problem. It allowed Sziky to kind of just secure the 4th base and play very, very comfortably from there. You really need to not allow Zerg to get a 4th base too quickly. In fact, like it's such a big part of SK Terran, which is, you know, Marine Medic Science Vessel against Zerg, that it can't be understated. Once they get the 4 gas, Defiler plus Ultra becomes viable in big numbers, and that's just as you saw that game. It's so difficult to stop because you can't fight under Darkstorm, and then they start plaguing as well, and it's just really, really tough. So you need to slow down that 4th base. They can't get it too early, and when they do get it, you already have to have a lot of pressure with your science vessels, with Marines and medics all over the map. And I think that Sziky's counterattack just kind of prevented that and made the game really difficult for Gypsy. So that is not something that will happen every game. You know, Gypsy wasn't quite ready for it, didn't block it quickly enough, and it got him. You know, it allowed Sziky to get the type of position he wanted to get. So I don't think that aspect, like, honestly, watching game 1, they feel pretty well matched. That moment made it kind of overwhelming for a Zerg player. Whereas, you know, other than that, I think that Gypsy was doing just fine. Ooh, very nice SCV micro. And very nice drone micro. My God, he really wants that SCV. Oh! Oh! Man, that was close. That was so close to death on that SCV. Really good micro, though. Wow. I love that these guys can play in turn rate 20 low latency. That's really good, because then you can actually get moments like that. Yeah, very well done. So, Gypsy going to go ahead and scout the 3rd hatch. So this is 3rd hatch before gas. And we'll get to see where Gypsy wants to go. He's getting the quick gas here. I believe he's just going to go for +1 attack again. And maybe that same type of 4 barracks play. It's a very solid way to play. I don't think that there's anything wrong or weak about it. It's a good macro approach at fighting against 3-hatch Zergs. And don't forget that last game, Sziky was able to sneak a Ling in and kind of figure out what was going on. And, of course, you know, it's not that his game plan... We don't know what his game plan was previously to that, but he probably did adjust it somewhat. Now, I don't think that that's going to occur again. I'd be surprised. Normally, you aren't able to get a Zergling in like that quickly. We'll see, though. Getting some first player views here from both of our players. Gypsy going to go ahead, block this choke up a little bit. You see that his SCV did end up dying. Get that +1 going. for Gypsy as well. Sziky over here taking his gas. Looks like he wants to get a little bit of a scout on with his lings. Yeah, everything looking pretty standard, pretty normal for these guys. Academy coming up. More barracks being added. And we'll see how many barracks that Gypsy actually wants to go for. Now, if you go 5 barracks, you really have to apply pressure, like insane amounts of pressure, because your factory is going to end up being very late. I guess you could end up, you know, cutting Marines or something like that. But that wouldn't make as much sense. We saw last game Gypsy went for 4 barracks. And if you go 4 barracks, everything kind of fits together a little bit more, but you don't have quite as much pressure on the map. So we'll see which one he wants to go for. Certainly it has to be at least 4 barracks. You can't really... economically, it doesn't make sense to go just 3. That's... against a 2-hatch play, absolutely. But against 3-hatch, you want that extra production. And the mutas come a lot slower. So it is going to be 5 barracks plus 1 here from Gypsy. So yeah, he'll be making a lot of Marines and medics. And he'll try to make as few turrets as possible. And just kind of defend by being aggressive, right? Like, defend by keeping pressure on the map, like we kind of talked about in that previous game. Where you're basically moving out and saying the mutas have to chase you or you will literally go kill the Zerg. So Sziky takes his 3rd base, and he takes a very far away high ground base. So I think in this particular situation, that's probably the best base that he can take. And that's actually pretty quick for a 3-hatch muta opener to take a 3rd base as well, just to throw that out there. So yeah, let's see if Gypsy is able to get across the map and actually kill off this 3rd. Because that's going to be somewhere where this game may get decided. Now, Artie has 4 medics. You generally do want to pop your medics out quickly so they have time to gain a little bit of energy. A couple turrets around the barracks going down. Kind of like that placement. Kind of handsome. That turret, a little bit close to the edge, but maybe not the end of the world. Looks like a little pause here. Coming up for Gypsy. We'll get back into that very quickly. I wonder what that pause was for. Sziky should unpause. Imagine that. In a tournament game. Actually, in most tournaments, it's not really allowed to pause. Well, in Korea, at least. You can say PP, but it has to be like a valid reason or you get in a lot of trouble. Okay, there we go. Back to it. So plenty of turrets going up. Cutting production just momentarily for that. Bunch of mutas popping out. Let's see. Yeah, he pops 9 or 8 mutas right away. And already here comes the move out. Now, the Lings definitely want to move out of the way here of these Marines. They have absolutely no chance. But it's important that Sziky tries to run them back in. Right? And you see Gypsy actually kind of walking back and forth because he's expecting those Lings to come back. And we see that Sziky checks, sees the Marines medics, turns around again. Muta's flying in towards those turrets. He sees those 4 racks in the main base. And now Gypsy is going to go. He has a lot right now. There are Sunkens being made. You see a lot of drones going up to the front there. A Hydralisk Den is out already. It's a very healthy amount of mutas as well. +1 attack already done. We have a barracks flower going on. I like it. 4-leaf clover barracks shape. All right, Sunken going up on the high ground. That is actually really hard to break up a small ramp against good Mutalisks. So I wonder if he's going to go for that. It's almost easier to break more Sunkens on flat ground. In fact, I don't know why I said almost easier. It is easier. Like, that is much more breakable for him than going up the ramp if the mutas are there. Now, with the mutas there, though, I don't know if he can attack in quite yet. Sziky so far keeping good defense up. We haven't seen any Hydras yet. We do know the Hydralisk Den is there, and you definitely need to do some sort of attack before Lurkers come out. But is right now the time. Reinforcements are coming up. Okay, Gypsy stims down, but immediately Sziky jumps upon it and actually does end up killing all but one of the Marines. But he does take a bunch of damage on the mutas, loses some lings, things like that. Okay, the Hydras are popping out. This is kind of the moment here for Gypsy where We're going to see if he gets any real damage other than forcing Sunken Colonies done with this Bioforce. It's a little bit small right now. If he had been able to reinforce a little bit better, I think that there was potential to bust the Sunkens, even with Mutas there. Like, if you have 30 Marines with +1 and, like, 4 medics or something, that can kill a lot of stuff. You start hitting the critical mass where they just deal so much damage. But here it doesn't feel like he's going to really do too much. Like, he can maintain some map control, but that third base has been up for a while. And, of course, your science vessels are generally a little bit slower with a build like this. So, how is he going to maintain pressure while, you know, while waiting for vessels? And my honest answer is I don't think that he can. Like, he's walking around the map. But look, 4 sunks and 3 lurkers there. And then we have, like, 2 lurkers and 2 sunkens up a ramp at the other base. And look, this is why Sziky is jumping in now. Because he knows he can't be killed. Those Marines on the map cannot kill him. In fact, if they attack, he's going to win the game. So he just comes in and is doing whatever he can here. Killing off absolutely anything that he possibly can. Not trading that well, honestly, against these Marines. But in theory, what he's doing here, I think, is really good. You see the Marines that Gypsy has, they just walked around a little bit, and now they have to go home. The Ling's hitting the natural. This is really annoying stuff for Gypsy to deal with. You know, I gotta say, like, Sziky, I heard a lot about him. He wasn't, like, super active, I think, when I got back into the Brood War scene as a player. So I didn't know too much about him. And he sounded like a very good mechanical Zerg, like good micro and good macro and things like that. But honestly, like, watching his play here, I think he's a very smart Zerg as well. I really like what we've been seeing. Like, I feel like he's making a lot of the right choices. He knows exactly the types of moves that he needs to make. So definitely big respect. Gypsy's such a strong player in this matchup, but it seems like Sziky is handling everything fantastically. Now, the first couple science vessels are out. Very nice. 11 minutes. Not bad for the build. Absolutely. The Filer Mound is already out here. Some macro hatches going down. The Nidus. Ooh, a double evolution chamber. Really, really good. Definitely going to be heading towards Ultralisks, but he doesn't have the 4th base yet. Which, you know, it's till the end of time. I'll probably be talking about 4th bases in this matchup because it is so important for that extra gas. And you see this drone trying to come up. Ooh, saves it there against the chasing Marines. A couple of radiates go out. Now, look, if he kills 2 lurkers there and there's no more defense, he will break that. With this many Marines, you just do a nice little spread, get that lurker pretty quickly, and you'll bust everything. Here we go. He's going to try it. Oh, more lurkers coming through that Nidus immediately. Oh, pretty good spines, honestly. And with the other 2 lurkers, of course, he does have to turn around. But a good attempt there by Gypsy. These are the types of moves that you need to try over and over. Make the Zerg player reposition these lurkers. Make him, you know, keep him on his toes. Mutas still out, kind of hunting. Still a very decent flock. Remade quite a few of them, picking off as many Marines as he can. And, of course, he did force the cancel there at that mineral-only base. Gypsy trying to take the gas base now. Oh, he's going to find it. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, unless he doesn't do anything. Okay, a little bit sloppy there, but that actually kind of brings his attention to it and is able to maybe force a cancel here. No, does slow it down significantly, though. Vessels come up, looking for an irradiate. The mutas, look at how annoying these mutas are still, that he's having to use irradiates on them this late into the game. A lot of times, mutas just kind of get put on the back burner at this point. Just sit in a base to, like, stop drops or something, but these have maintained a lot of usefulness. Really cool to see. Only one eBay going right now. Hopefully that is the +2 attack. You know, +2 armor. It's good, but not nearly as important. If you don't keep up on those attack upgrades, the Ultra Switch will get you. All right, looks like we do have Lurker Ling Defiler attack moving out right now. Now, this is basically the exact same move that we saw before. Okay, so he actually catches it really quickly this time before it even gets out of Sziky's area. So Sziky backs up with it for now. But yeah, that like, I think he was trying to go over towards the natural because that's the type of attack that got him so far ahead in that previous game. Now, some great Scourge right there. Gypsy losing some more vessels. He will kill off the 4th base before it even gets mining, which is really nice. Finishes his own 3rd, getting a 4th base at the mineral base as well. And here comes that attack now. See, this is a lot of Lings, a few Lurkers, and a Defiler. If you get the Dark Swarm up in a strong location, this will slow Gypsy immensely. But it looks like he's going to be fine here. Oh, even picks off an additional Lurker. And that's not close enough to really cause a headache for Gypsy. Not yet, at least. Another one coming in right now. We'll see if he's able to get up there. Do we have the Irradiate? Okay, here comes the Irradiate. Gypsy needs to keep the pressure on this point. Another Defiler waiting at the back. Look at this. He's really trying to push the Dark Storms up. Oh my god, what is this move right here? Okay, the scan goes down. He's going to pick off a couple Lurkers at the bottom of the ramp, so a little bit of sloppiness going on. The Defilers get away up the ramp here, consuming those Lings as quickly as is possible. Plague goes down. Oh, another Defiler. He is continuing to try to do this push. Plenty of Lings to eat. Okay, the Irradiate goes down, and you can see how much this is slowing Gypsy this game again. But it's not as important because you don't see a 4th base yet for Sziky, right? That was the big difference that we saw on Good Night. Now, Gypsy on 4 base during all this. Ooh, scans, finds the next base, so he's going to start sending his army down here. If there's no Defiler, he could have a hard time defending this. Only 1 Lurker, that is not too big of a problem. Just throw 1 Irradiate down. Wow, that's a lot of Scourge, by the way. Oh, no. Sziky with some great vessel pickoffs. Okay, maybe a little bit greedy there at the end. Looks like a lot of units end up falling here. 3 Defilers coming over to try to help defend. And Gypsy doing a great job. I mean, picking off quite a few of these Defilers. Keeps a little group of units. I love that group of units, by the way, outside of that 3rd base. One thing it's doing is preventing any counterattacks coming out of there and any drones for an additional expansion. But what he needs to do is try to bust this 4th base. Now, you see some Ultras starting to come out, but Sziky doesn't have a ton of gas right now. He doesn't have a ton of supply either. You can see him down at just 81. So he's holding on, but only just that right now. Now, as this 4th base actually starts to get saturated, that's where he's going to start to get a lot more powerful. Sziky right now trying to make sure he holds on. He has the Nidus up. He's throwing down Sunkens. He's hiding his Defilers. There you go. Pops one out. Beautiful. Pops out. Dark Swarm. Bam. Holds the ramp. Very, very well done. Trying to utilize the cover there of the Lings. Targeting, the Marines targeting the Lings, rather, to get the Scourge off. Trying so hard to pick these vessels. Another nice couple hits. Drone sneaks his way out after he kills off the Marines containing that 3rd. Seems like Gypsy can stop that, though. But look at the mini-map right now. Look at all of the red moving around. Gypsy's units going absolutely everywhere. Such an important tactic to just set up groups of Marines and medics all over the map to catch little groups of Lings, to catch drones, to stop little expansions. Oh, and an awesome plague onto those vessels. All right, the vessel's getting pulled back. Some good irradiates go down. Okay, finally the 4th gas is up, but it just got up. So this is, right now for the next few minutes, a full 4-gas Zerg. Eventually those geysers will begin to die out, but you can see that Gypsy has like an insane bank right now. He has a fantastic economy. Cracklings. They attack so quickly with that Adrenal upgrade. They were nicknamed Cracklings by the foreign scene many, many years ago. Well, I guess you can figure out why. Ultras now joining the fray. Speed upgrade, not quite done for them. See a lot of vessels moving down towards the natural, but oh, mutas are out to pick off. Oh my god. Okay, so a good irradiate there, but they're still going to kill a few vessels. Yeah, it looks like 3 end up falling there. A good move by Sziky. And another plague maybe going to go down. Oh, a dark storm instead. Okay. He does have fire bats in here, so he might be able to deal with that. Not that many fire bats, though. Oh, plague goes down as well. And this is starting to get a little bit bad. Ling Ultra on the map, doing some counterattacks. Gypsy having a hard time holding on to everything. He does still have a huge bank. He still has a huge army. Great upgrades. Great production. A lot of good things for Gypsy, but losing these bases is like a very crucial moment because Sziky is on 4 bases. So anytime he can run Gypsy around, make him do something other than keep pressure on him, he can just continue to fight his way back into this. All right, Gypsy trying to break up that ramp against Sunken Spore. Sending some units over to clear his 3rd base as well. Ooh, a nice plague goes down. Throws down the Dark Swarm as well, so his Lings will help him end up defending that. Has to move back with those Plagued Marines. In the meantime, the Radiated Ultralisk dealing extra damage to its foes. It will end up falling here shortly, though. Doesn't have a lot of gas left in the tank. All right, so can Gypsy pull this together? Right, 160 against about 90 supply. You can see slowly but surely Sziky is creeping up that supply. His army getting better and better. More ultras coming out. Gypsy here to block them as they come up the ramp. Yeah, very nice trades right there. But ooh, the Dark Swarm comes down. See these. This is the thing about the 4-gas Zerg is that he can make Defilers and Ultras at the same time, throwing these down. And again, these are the types of moves that really slow Terran. Sziky taking his 5th up at 12 during this time as well. Gypsy now taking some of those reinforcements that he cleaned up that base with out of that location. Looks like actually only 4 carapace upgrades for Sziky right now, so definitely needs that additional one to finish. Also, Gypsy really going to need to stop 12 o'clock. If he gets up to 5 gases, I don't even know. Like, that's going to become ridiculously hard to deal with. All right, so taking a look at their first player views, you can see just how quick both these players are. Jumping all over the place, casting their spells, trying to defend and attack everywhere at the same time. Gypsy regrouping a lot of his units here, continuing to produce. Just so many vessels on the map. By the way, we see all these floating buildings in the center. I should mention, this is a really good tactic if you're planning on just staying on this type of unit composition. You can even fly in your science facility because you're not going to go battlecruiser. Just mass vessels. And you use those buildings to spot things coming out because there's almost no anti-air. In fact, if any Scourge go on attack move, they might fly into buildings, which is something that's great for you. But really nicely done by Gypsy, kind of giving him vision of units moving out in the map. He knows where he can intercept. He knows where counterattacks are coming, things like that. But look at Sziky's supply, right? We were talking about it when it was down at 80, how he was able to hang on. Here we are, up at 100. He's getting a little bit more aggressive on the map. Another group of Ultras coming over here. Not that many. Does he have a Defiler trailing? It doesn't look like it. So maybe not the best move here. I'm not sure. I don't think you should be throwing away 4 Ultras here. He is going to lose his 5th base in the meantime. Some good defense matrix coming down. So he moving past them. More Ultras and Lings coming in. Hey, maybe this is going to end up working. The reinforcements doing a great job here. He only has like 8 racks or so. So you really got to clear this. 8 Marines coming out at a time are going to have a hard time against Ultra Ling. You really need a critical mass. Now the SCV's starting to fall here as well. One of the Ultras ends up popping. Dude, this is a fantastic game that we're looking at right now. 11 vessels sitting here waiting for irradiates. Oh, see, he picks off 3 or 4 there. Very painful. It's really hard to utilize vessels when you get up to these numbers. Even pros have the best Korean pros have a terribly hard time using this many vessels. Now, Gypsy, I think we're starting to see him in a lot of trouble, right? Like, his supply is lowered by about 30 from what we've seen it at all game long. Sziky taking a base in the middle. He's taking a base at 12 again. Just continually, he's been sending in these little attacks that have slowed Gypsy down. Now, Gypsy needs to regroup, scan around, pre-irradiate defilers, and get out on the map with a big army. He needs to threaten killing things immediately. And if he doesn't do that, Sziky's going to run away with it with the additional bases. Oh, an insane plague gets 8 vessels there. Some Scourge flying out. All right. So, let's look here. Gypsy has double. Oh, I love the double drop. I think this is a fantastic idea. He's going to go after 12 o'clock with that. Okay, that's a good way to clean 12. Because, again, you have to walk around with, like, a really big army right now. So utilizing, like, just drops to kill something is fantastic. Now, he's going to be able to kill this base. He killed 12. And then, I mean, there's that kind of funny location at, like, 12 with the hour hand that he's going to need to take out. But that's, like, the easiest base to kill on the whole map. So I'm not too worried. I think he doesn't even know about it, perhaps. Now, Sziky tried to hold on to this hatchery, but Gypsy continuing to come down. This is just... It's almost a fool's errand to try to defend that. It's just not in a great position. 3-port science vessel being produced. Gypsy sending over another command center. Definitely needs to take more bases. Oh, Muta's coming out for those science vessel kills. Don't forget, 8 of those got plagued before. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, well, 3 of them hit 1, so at least one of these gets out, but I think these Lings should be able to deal with this as well. Gypsy flying towards the main with that now. Having a little bit of a hard time here. Sziky's 12 o'clock with the hour hand base. Gets a Nidus at it. It's such a funny location. It's like so easy to attack. It's in the very middle of the map. It's far away from Sziky. I can't imagine him holding on to that. Now, I just saw... Was that the Spire that just went down? That's actually a huge kill at this point in the game. Look at Sziky's gas, by the way. How low it's starting to get. This is because we start running out of gas on some of the earlier geysers. You know, around like 21 minutes or so. This is hilarious. Oh my god. See, this is how much he did not know that this was taken. He sent SCVs there. He sent a command center there. And now he's going to send his army there. He'll be able to knock this out. There's no way that you can keep that alive. But, yeah, Sziky is starting to get starved here. He was doing really well for a little bit, but wasn't able to do, like, a finishing blow. Wasn't able. Oh, and the Defense Matrix Fire Bats. Fantastic under the Dark Storm. But, yeah, wasn't able to get another base up either. And GG is called. We have ourselves a series tied up 1-1.